Hello, welcome to March 2010. Well, if you've listened to any of these other updates, you've heard me talking about the dance and the music and the theme that's playing. And that the theme this year is Pisces. And the dance rate increases this month. We're moving from that Brahms waltz of last month into a much more I want to say challenging energy, because I think challenge is a good thing. We challenge ourselves to excel. We challenge ourselves to be better. We challenge ourselves to get out and meet people when we know we should, but we really don't feel like it. So I want you to use that word challenge in alignment with the positive things that you can do for yourself. Mars, which has been retrograde actually since last October, now moves direct on the 10th of this month. We have the Sun in Pisces this month, but it's making some real challenging aspects as it finishes up this energy of Pisces. Touches with Uranus, which is change. Whenever a planet goes direct, we have kind of a like if your car's stalled and many of you probably have never driven a stick shift, but you have to pop the clutch and it kind of jerks a little bit. So there's a little bit of that energy going. On the 7th, Venus, which is what we want, moves to Aries, and that's a part of this tempo picking up. The energy of Aries now begins to come in. So Pisces being the collective consciousness, and we are all one, and all of this wonderful Brahms melody type thing. Aries is much more a very strong bass beat. It's got okay, here we are now, where do we go and what do we do with it? So the planet Mars is in a fire sign also. Now we have Venus in a fire sign, and we have this very strong vision energy that comes in the 13th and the 14th, trying to bring us with this energy of this new moon on the 15th into a place of alignment with self before the dance really begins, and we have to get out there on the floor and do some moves maybe that we're not used to. So use the 13th and the 14th and that new moon on the 15th to center yourself into your vision. Get your vision clear. Do some journaling. Get clear on how you want this year to feel. By this time next year, how do you want to have felt about this year? Let's not get so carried away into a certain amount of money in the bank or whatever, although that's nice, and if that's part of your vision, you go for it too. And also encounter this energy of what would my life feel like, and what would it take to make my life feel connected. Often people tell me they want $1 million, and then when you get down to what they want the $1 million for, it's something they don't need $1 million for. So get clear on the feelings, because on the 20th we have the vernal equinox and the sun moves to Aries. So in astrology, to me, this is where the new year really begins. And I neglected to mention last month that we entered the Chinese New Year of the Tiger, which is very much in alignment with this fire energy and with this energy of kind of let's go for it. So that dreamy, wonderful new moon energy there on the 15th, by the 20th has totally shifted to a very strong I, me. And you know, there's nothing wrong with this. In this culture, we spend so much time being told that we're supposed to be just thinking about the other guy and just doing for the other person. But without a sense of self and a sense of Aries within us, there is no way that we can create anything, because we don't have any belief or any confidence in ourselves. Aries being the first sign of the zodiac and the beginning of the energy of spring for us, we come in with a bang this year. On the after the 10th of this month, there's the only planet that is retrograde is Saturn, which is about accountability, and it's getting ready by next month. It's at 0 degrees of Libra by the end of this month, which is a cardinal point. It's getting ready to flip back into the sign of Virgo, and we're already beginning to analyze what that next step needs to be for us. So the key this year and the challenge this year, remember, challenge is a good thing. We're going to challenge ourselves to have more fun, to be more connected, to do more good things for ourselves and others this year. The challenge with this is, how do I remain in the dream and create the reality? So this shift over place that begins here is asking you to have a sense of connection to source and kind of that dreamy, mystical, spiritual, connected vision, and at the same time move out in the world and begin to create new actions. The energy on the 28th of the full moon is very much a good deal of what this cardinal square is going to be about, or this cardinal cross for many of us that begins next month, is Aries, Libra, self and others. How do I healthily take care of myself and at the same time maintain relationships with other people? So this full moon challenges us to not only step up to the bat, so to speak, and begin to move forward with our projects, our ideas, our visions of what we want, but how do we incorporate other people healthy into this? How do we maintain relationships, or in some cases, because the full moon is a releasing energy, maybe let go of relationships that really aren't doing you or the other person any good. So I always say, generally, rather than let go of relationships, I have to let go of my idea about the relationship, and thus the relationship changes, and that often, for me, it's a moot point. I don't have to do anything about it. So at the very least, I would ask you at the end of this month to really look at how you're feeling about relationships before you begin to do anything rash, because there is a temptation at this point to move forward a little bit faster. The energy of Aries is, in astrology, we always joke, fire, ready, aim, as being the energy of Aries. So keep a little bit of that Pisces visionary of, if you fire before you aim or before you're ready, what is that really going to get you? So slow down, breathe deeply, and reconnect to what it is that you really want before you move forward with the action this month, and you're going to have an absolutely fantastic March.